Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi Tony, can you hear me? Okay, I can see that there's 21 people here. I don't know whether anybody can hear me though. So at the moment I can see Tony saying evening Ashley, finally managed to get to catch you. I can see Caroline saying good morning Ashley and Tribe. Oh, hearing and seeing you fine, brilliant, thank you Caroline. Marcia saying good morning from Iowa. Barbara Harty, hello Ashley, hope you are well. Yep, fine, thank you Barbara, same to you. JD Cougar is here saying hello everyone, hope you're having a beautiful day. Creative Concept Crafts is saying hi Ashley, certainly can from Spain, brilliant. Doreen's here, can hear you, sound is a little low, okay. Can you tell me, is that any better? Hi Alison, hope you're okay. Barbara's saying hearing okay. Oops, that was me, sound is great. Oh, okay. Don't do that to me. Anna is saying hi Ashley, so happy you're doing the vinyl auto blade. I just bought one but didn't realise I needed the kit, so I only have the replacement blade. Okay. Sleepy Dragon is saying hi from Scotland. Well, hi to you. Linda Lee is saying you're hearing me fine in New York. Brilliant. Marlene is from Ontario, Canada. Wow. I love this, that we're all around the world all sat here talking to each other. Alison saying yes, loud and clear from rainy Ammanford. Yeah, same here. It's awful, isn't it? Rainy and windy. Hi, Dawn. Right, so has anybody got, I know that Anna has just said that she didn't realise she had to buy the kit and she's bought the blade, but has anybody got the vinyl auto blade kit? It's available in two options from what I can see on the Makers Superstore website. Put you on the big screen now. Oh no. Oh dear. Sue is saying hope everyone's okay. Janet's saying good evening from Somerset. Yes, good evening to you. I have old model CM300, wondering if I can get a vinyl blade for it. Right, well this particular vinyl auto blade kit, Marcia, is only available for the DX and SDX series of machines, so the machines that have got the auto blade. You can cut vinyl with a CM300, you just need to do a test cut and work out your blade depth and blade pressure so that you don't cut all the way through the vinyl and through the backing. But this is a designated blade now that they've brought out. Mandy G, don't worry, I've literally only just jumped on. Hi Cherie, hope you're okay. Oh, you loved the wreath, Cherie. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was good fun. It's hung up on my wall here in my new craft room. So Creative Concepts is saying, don't want to put a dampener on it, but it's 27 here in Spain today. I should ban you from my channel making comments like that. Hi Ellen from Yorkshire, hope you're okay. Hi Leslie, are you well? Made it chicken in oven, timer set to go off when potatoes are due to go in. Brilliant. Hope you and your son are okay, and I hope you enjoy your chicken dinner when you finally get to have it, Leslie. Right, Janet is saying, I've got it, had it for my birthday today. Oh, happy birthday. Ellen is saying, like your craft room, well done. Oh, thank you. I don't have a Disney. Okay, Cherie, but have you got the Auto Blade kit? Just not the one with the extra Disney designs in it? Because from what I can see, I'll be honest with you, I've had this a few weeks now, and I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago, and I've never really had a lot of time to play with it. So I had a little play with it on Friday night, and I'll show you what I did, but I've got a simple little project to make with you today. And I was looking at it on the maker's website, and from what I can see, this kit is available in two options. So you can get the vinyl auto blade with the activation card as one kind of package, if you like, and I think that's about £49, so UK British pounds. But then you can also get the kit with the activation card and the extra Disney designs, which is what I've got here, and this is £79. The only difference between the two is that this one gives you 55 extra Disney designs and the other one you don't get any designs with, but they both give you the activation card, if you like, that opens up the premium, the extra premium functions. So for anybody that doesn't know, I can see comments flashing up now, but I'll have to come back to you in a minute. So from what I can see, for anybody that doesn't know, the activation card that comes with the blade, if you forget the Disney designs just for a minute, let me just get rid of that off my screen, by the way. So the activation function that comes with it enables you to be able to do tiling, and it puts weeding boxes automatically around your designs if you choose to apply the weeding box. And tiling basically means that we can now cut far bigger designs, still using a 12 by 12 or a 12 by 24 mat. And basically what the activation function does is it enables you to use a design that comes with the machine, with the card, because there are designs that come with the activation card, and you can use those designs and resize them, or you can create your own design, but you can create them massive now basically, and the tiling function within the activation facility will enable you to chop that design up into several parts. It does it automatically for you, and then you can then cut all those different elements on literally a 12 by 12 mat. So that's the auto blade and the functions that come with it. I am going to do a separate pre-recorded video showing all the tiling facility in Canvas, because it's too much to go through tonight to show you, just the blade and how it's going to cut, and then all the other functions that come with it. So the auto blade and the activation and some pre-installed designs are like option one for £49. Then in addition to all that, if you want the extra 55 Disney designs, you need to buy the package that has the Mickey and Minnie on the front, which gives you the additional Disney designs. But from what I've just had a quick look at earlier on today, as I say, we can cut, from what I can see now, we can cut designs with this new blade and with this activation function, anything between 12 inches and 59 inches wide. So that's basically just under 5 foot wide, and anything between 12 inches and 70 inches high, which is like just under 6 foot. So you can cut massive designs now. And as I say, with this tiling feature, you can break that design down. It does it automatically for you. You basically choose the size that you want to make, and then you tell it what size mat or roll feeder you're going to be using. You don't have to have the roll feeder to use the functions that come with this. You can basically say, I want to use a 12 by 12 mat, and it will break the design up over however many mats it needs to, and you can then cut all those elements and piece them all together. So that's kind of an overview of the auto blade and its activation. But as I say, there's a lot more to it which I need to show you in Canvas, and I'll have to do a pre-record video for that. What I will say is I've had to make some notes because my memory's shocking and I can't remember anything, and I know you're probably going to ask. The designs that come with the activation kit, so not the Disney designs, just the other designs that come with the activation kit, you access them through Canvas Workspace for computer. If you buy this kit, the one that comes with the Disney designs, you access the additional Disney designs through Canvas Workspace online. So it's a bit confusing because you have to look in kind of two different places. And the premium function, so the tiling and the weeding facility, is only available in the computer-based version. Okay, so the version that you download, that you use on your Windows computer or your Mac, is where you'll find the premium function, and then the Disney designs you find in Canvas Online. So let me just go back now because I know I've missed loads of comments. So Alison's saying, a week into Wales lockdown, weather is perfect for being indoors. Yeah, we're going into UK lockdown on Thursday until at least the 2nd of December. So people are saying happy birthday now to Janet. Sleepy Dragon is saying, I don't have the Disney either. Don't think I can get it for the CM900. No, this auto blade is only available for the SDX or DX machines. You can't use it on the CM models, but obviously, you know, people have got the DXs and the SDX, and that's why I want to show it. But you can still cut vinyl with your CM machine. I've got loads of videos on my channel, you know, that I've done over the last 6 years showing how you can cut vinyl on your CM machine. Basically, you just need to do a test cut and work out your blade depth and cut pressure so that you don't cut all the way through your vinyl backing. Is it Carrie is saying hi from Whitewater, USA. Oh, you're welcome, Carrie. Leslie's saying, I'm fine, thank you, Ashley. Hoping you are going good. Yeah, I am fine, thank you, Leslie. Marcia's saying hi, Hi, Vicky. So am I on time or an hour late? No, you're on time, Vicky. Ah, dear, bless you. Are you still on different times? Is it still confusing you? Becky's saying my daughter's birthday. Is that the same as Janet? Cherie is saying no, not yet. I don't have it or the fabric mat yet. Okay. Barbara's saying not sure how much I would use the vinyl kit. You may encourage me to buy this one. Okay. Well, Barbara, I'm a bit like that. I don't do an awful lot of vinyl. So when I do come to cut it, I am a bit nervous, I must admit. But the more you do it, you know, the more you'll get used to it. And it's not scary really. But there are people out there that just do nothing but vinyl. You know, they have ScanNCut machines or Cricut machines or Silhouette machines, and they have businesses making just you know, things out of vinyl, whether it's, you know, heat transfer vinyl for fabric or home decor, or whether it's vinyl for signs, or, you know, cutting vinyl to make stencils and painting signs. There are people out there that literally have businesses just doing nothing but vinyl. Hi Lisa, hope you're okay. I'm just going to run back through all the comments because I don't want to miss anything, and then we'll get going. What's the angel policy on Disney? Basically, it's very, very strict, Leslie. It literally only is personal use. Sleepy Dragon's saying, going to plug you into the big telly. Oh dear. Never use vinyl. Is there an idiot's guide as to which type of vinyl for which purpose? And can you please talk us through? No, nothing, but would love to try it. Okay, yeah, we'll do in a minute. Let me just see. Donna Jo's saying hi. Does that mean that with a 12 by 24 mat, you could double that? No, basically, from what I've read, with this kit, this activation kit that comes with this, we can cut anything between 12 and 59 inches wide or 12 and 70 inches high, and that's total. And then you can then choose to tell the software before you send it to your machine to cut, to break your design down to either cut it from a 12 by 12 mat or a 12 by 24 mat or the roll feeder. So there's like a maximum width and height, and then you just say how you want to cut it, what mat or roll feeder you're going to use. Does that make sense? I'm not clever at all, Leslie. Are you allowed to use the Disney designs on gifts or to sell on complete? You can't sell anything, to my knowledge, using the Disney designs. You can gift them, as far as I'm aware, but you cannot sell anything. Janet's saying thank you for the birthday wishes. We changed the time last night. My tummy thinks it's noon. Oh, so you did change last night. Okay, well, you are on time anyway. Okay, right, so I've got notes because, as I say, I forget loads of stuff, but hopefully I think I've got through everything. So this is how the kit came, and as I say, I am going to be doing another video showing how this works in conjunction with Canvas Workspace, but it was just too much to do in one go, really. So I've got a standard mat. This is your blade, and the way that you distinguish the blades now is they've all got different coloured tops. So your standard blade that comes with your machine has the black top. Your vinyl blade is blue, and as I showed you a few weeks ago, your fabric blade is the kind of goldy tan colour, okay? And when you take the blades out of each one of these holders, they are all completely different. So they've all basically got their own use. So Donna's saying, miss the first few minutes, but we'll catch later. It's all right. I was just explaining literally about the kit, but hopefully it'll be recorded and you can go back and catch up with it, Donna. So I'm going to take out my standard blade, and I don't know how well you're going to see this, but I'll try and take the blades out and show you a side-by-side comparison. But as I said, you're probably not going to see. In fact, I'll just see if I can hold them up against my hand. You probably can't see. I'm going to end up having to take a photograph like I did when I showed the comparison of the fabric blade, but they definitely are different. The vinyl blade is a lot smaller and a lot skinnier, so I'm guessing that that's going to enable you to cut kind of more intricate designs with your vinyl. But like I say, if you've got a CM machine and a standard blade, you can, you know, still cut vinyl. Don't think that you can't cut vinyl with your ScanNCut machine just because you've not got this blade. You really can. And when I do the pre-record video showing the how it all works in Canvas Workspace, I will show you the extra Disney designs, but for now I literally just want to show you how the blade works, explain to you, you know, what it does and why it's been provided to us, and I'm going to cut a design and we'll see where we go from there. So it's got just a little cap on to protect the end. I'm just going to pop it into my machine. Now I have got my standard mat here. It's different again, Cherie, to the fabric blade, and what I will do is I'll literally try and put all three side by side, and then everybody can see how the three, you know, look completely different. So just excuse this noise while I rip this plastic off this mat. So I've got myself a piece of vinyl here, which I'm just going to load into the top corner of my regular standard mat. Now this vinyl I've had for years and years, so I'm hoping that it's going to cut okay, because sometimes vinyl can degrade a bit, you know, and if you've got vinyl that you've had for a long time, you might not necessarily always get good results. So I'm hoping that this is going to cut okay for us. And I think what I will do, if I can find some washi tape, I'm just going to add a little bit of washi tape, because I can see that it's, even though this is a new mat, I can see that it's trying to lift in places. So what's Barbara saying? Love the way you start from the new packaging. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to flip you to the machine, and then if this cuts, great. If it doesn't, I have got something that I cut on Friday night, so I'll show you. So hopefully you can see my machine now. So I'm just going to load this mat. Now I've got a design that I've saved into the machine, so I'm going to retrieve it from the machine. Just going to skip to the last page, and this is a free file that I found on the internet, and I will put a link in the description box below to where you can go and have a look for it. So I'm going to say okay, I'm going to do a background scan and start the machine. So Tony's saying my vinyl blade won't cut very well at all, even by upping the pressure, so ended up going back to the normal auto blade. Okay, that's interesting. As I say, I used it for the first time on Friday night, and it cut my vinyl fine. So, you know, if this all goes horribly wrong tonight, at least I've got something to show you. So basically what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go into the wrench, and I'm going to change the background so that I can see the design a little bit better and position it on this piece of vinyl. And this is just a simple quote, and I put a square box around it, which I'm using as a weeding box. Now I've done that manually. I've not brought this into the software and used the premium function. This is literally just an SVG file I found on the net that's free. and I put a square box around it which acts as a weeding box, as I say, because basically I just want to show you how the blade works, and then I'll do a more in-depth kind of review, if you like, showing you all the premium functions in Canvas Workspace. So I'm going to say, okay, now I've got that positioned, I'm going to say select, I'm going to go to cut, and then before I actually start the machine, I'm going into the wrench, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to put half cut on, and then I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to start, and hopefully we'll see what happens. And you're probably not going to be able to see it actually cutting. And try and move you a little bit without making you sick. So it's just literally cutting at the moment. As I say, this particular vinyl isn't sticking all over to my mat, and this is a relatively new mat, but sometimes you find that with vinyl, it's the backing that can be a bit waxy, and that's why I've just taped it down with the 2 bits of, what's it called, washi tape. Right, so I can see that Independent ScanNCut is saying, Tony Blair, I would contact brother as I've heard other reports of the same. I think there is a faulty batch. Okay, well that's interesting to know, being as though it's a new blade. Right, so has anybody got any questions or anything that they want to ask just while this is cutting? You know, the questions can be about anything. I know some of you saw the wreath project I did yesterday, which is now on my YouTube channel, and it's also on my blog. But if you didn't see it, if you go to the live playlist on my YouTube channel, or go to my website and click on blog, and this morning's blog post is the wreath I made, and that was made using designs that are in Canvas, and I just combined 2 designs. Leslie, it definitely is a lot quieter, isn't it? It's funny, I mean, the noise never used to bother me because I'd owned previous cutting machines and they were noisy as well. And it's just one of them things you kind of just get used to. But when I got the auto blade, I realised then how noisy the other machines were. And I've just seen that Vicky is saying, is the heat transfer or right, okay, and just going back to whoever it was that asked the question earlier about would I quantify which vinyl to use. This particular vinyl, Vicky, as far as I'm aware, is outdoor vinyl. It's vinyl that I got from a local sign writer. So I'm positive that this will be outdoor vinyl. But I can't find who it was now that asked the question about vinyl. So basically there's a brand of vinyl called Oracle. There's lots of vinyl on the market. You can even buy the vinyl that Cricket make for their cricket machines. But there's a well-known brand of vinyl called Oracle, and they do what's called a 631 vinyl. That's generally used for home decor. 651 is generally outdoor projects, so projects that you can get wet. You know, you can even put that on cups and things. And then heat transfer vinyl is generally the vinyl that you put on fabric. So, you know, clothing, t-shirts, fabric bags, that kind of thing. Right, this seems to have cut, so I'm just going to flip you back and unload. In fact, before I unload, let me just double check from a corner that it has cut. Let me just try and grab the top corner to see if it's cut through. Now that doesn't look, oh yes it has, I think. Yeah, I think it's cut through, so we'll unload it and see what happens. Like I say, if it all goes horribly wrong, don't worry, I've already got something that I can show you. So Tony's saying, looking forward to watching the wreath. Enjoyed watching you making the wreath. Love the colours you use. Thanks, Sue. Becky's saying, Autoblade kit designs are in Canvas for computer. Disney designs are in Canvas. Yeah, that's right. The Autoblade designs are on Canvas Workspace for PC or Mac, and the Disney function, extra Disney designs, you access in Canvas online. So that is correct, Becky, yes. Love the wreath. I intend to make one for my front door in lockdown. Oh, lovely, Leslie. Oracle 631 is removable and has, like, yeah, okay. And Oracle 65 permanent, yeah. Mug's Home Dot, yeah, okay, fine. Right, so where did I just put that thing? So we'll see if this has cut through. I'm just going to put my mat on one side, and let me just bring this down so you can see it. And I'm going to keep this washi tape on for a few minutes and stick it to my desk, and hopefully peel away. In fact, I don't know if I might have to, let me just undo one side, see if I can peel this away. Because I find when you're dealing with vinyl, I think it's easier if you can keep it anchored down. So I'm going to tape it to my desk, and then hopefully I'll be able to do this a bit easier. But you never know, might not be able to either. So let's just put that there. So what I'm peeling away now is basically the weeding box that I put around my design, which is basically just a box bigger than the design. So I'm just going to peel away that washi tape, peel this away. Okay, just roll that up on itself. And then I'm going to tape this back down to my desk. I may have to remove it again in a minute, but we'll see. So I've just got that anchored down. It just makes it, I find it makes it a little bit more easier to deal with. But having said that, you know, it might not. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to burnish over the design just with my spatula to hopefully just make sure that what I've cut on here stays in place, and then it might be easier to remove the waste. So Vicky's saying lots of heat transfer vinyl available at Michael's as well as Brother Dealers here. Yeah, there's loads of lovely heat transfer vinyls. I mean, there's like kind of glitter effect heat transfer vinyls. I think there's printed heat transfer vinyls. I know Cricut do loads. Ellen saying, thank you for clarifying the vinyl. I have Oracle 651 and was wondering if it was waterproof. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, 651 is waterproof. 631 is the one that you kind of would normally use indoors. Thank you for the good tip, Ashley. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to try and grab a corner, and I'm going to start to peel away slowly the vinyl that I want to remove, because I want to leave my quote behind on this backing paper. And that's why when you're using vinyl, you don't cut all the way through your backing paper. So I'm just going to, bearing in mind, I actually cannot see really properly. So I'm just taking it nice and slow, and hopefully I don't peel up anything that is meant to stay behind. There's no rush with vinyl, you just take your time. I can see little parts where it needs pulling out from in between the letters. And then literally, I mean, you know, I don't know if this is the right or wrong way to do it, but I just take my time and then I kind of stick it to itself to make it easier to manage. And you can get vinyl in A4 sheets off places like eBay if you just want to test, you know, test the water kind of thing with your vinyl. If you don't want to jump in and go and buy loads of it straight away, you know, or a big full roll or anything, you can actually buy it in A4 sheets and 12 by 12 sheets off eBay. And I think you can just buy, you know, individual colours. So let's just see how we're going with this. So this one is playing okay with me at the moment. As I say, because vinyl isn't something that I do a lot, I do get a bit nervous when I'm using it. And I'm just literally sticking it to itself down here. And then when I can see where it's like kind of catching on the insides of the letters, I just help it along with my, this is a piercing tool, a ScanNCut piercing tool, but you can buy proper weeding tools. I know some people use a pin, you know, a straight pin like you use for sewing, for fabric crafts. Okay, so that's the bulk of it taken away now. And then what I need to do is just come in between the letters and weed out the little bits. And that's why this is called weeding, because you're literally taking away the bits that you don't want. And I can see, just about see, there's a tiny little bit there. And I think, because I'm under electric light at the moment and I've got a lot of lights in this room, but sometimes it does make it difficult for you to see what you're doing. So I think I've got everything that's there. There'll be a bit in the middle of the A, so I can pick that up. And I'm just, some people stick it to the back of the hand, you know, all your little weeding bits, and then get it all later. I kind of do a mixture of both. Sometimes I stick it to the back of my hand, but sometimes I just prefer to stick it all on the waist. And my waist is all here. I don't know if you can see, it's just in front of me. And the little bits that I'm pulling out from the middles of the letters, I'm literally just sticking in that pile. So we've got happiness. Now this is going to be the test because I can't see properly. I know there's some letters in here, so I might have to just lift this up and bring it a little bit closer to me. Hopefully you'll still see what I'm doing. So in here, I think there's something that needs to come out. But when you're doing this yourself, you can, you know, shine a light on it properly so that you can see it better. And I think that's it. So basically, the quote is, happiness is crafting. So from here now, this is all the waste. So I'm just going to get that in the bin because you'll end up with bits of vinyl stuck to you. What you need to do from here now is you need transfer tape. So I've already pre-cut some transfer tape. And this is the kind, again, I've had this year's, this is Puzzles transfer tape from when I used to have a Puzzles machine. And I've owned a ScanNCut for what must be 6.5 years, probably, is it now? So this is how old this is. But this is the kind of transfer tape that you can't see through. It doesn't matter what you use. Some of it is clear, some of it has grids on, some of it's like this, like a big masking tape. It doesn't really matter so long as, you know, you can see through it, but it's not like completely clear. So basically what you would do now, you would just put your transfer tape over your design and then give it a really good rub down, and I can actually just see that I've left a piece of the design in there. So let's get that out. think there's a little bit in there that I should have taken out. I'm just going to stick that to my machine at the moment. I'm just going to have to lift it up so I can see. Yeah, just a tiny little bit in there. So you just give it a real good burnish down. Oh, there's another bit there, I think. This is what I mean. When you start to do vinyl, you start to see bits that you miss. I think you can use a light box as well. Some people, I think, use a light box. So let me just pick these two little bits up and put them in the rubbish, else they'll end up stuck to me somewhere. I think I've now got everything. So basically you need some kind of transfer tape that is then going to get whatever it is you've cut in your vinyl from your vinyl backing onto your project, okay? Let me just see what you're saying. Mandy's saying, I got a great mix box of vinyl from Amazon. It was good value. I love using vinyl with my CM900. Does a great job. It looks fab, Ashley. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've used my CM600 and my 900 in the past to cut vinyl. There'll be things, as I say, on the channel. I did a water bottle with Hannah's name on it one time. I've done all sorts of things. So you don't need the auto blade to cut vinyl, but it's just another blade that they're giving us, and they've obviously given us other, you know, other extras, if you like, with it, in that you get the activation where you can cut something huge and chop it up into various sections. There's a little bit in the R, okay? Is there? Okay, let me have a look. And I think I've got everything now. Isn't it funny, you see things when you start putting the transfer tape on, you think you've got everything. C-R-A-F-T, yeah, I think I've got everything now. Don't forget the centre of the R and the H. Got the H. I think I've got everything now, have I? Or are you still telling me I'm missing? Tell me if I've got everything now, or if I'm still missing anything. Cherie's saying, yeah, you got them. Have I got them now, Cherie? Medium tack transfer tape is the best for vinyl. Dealing with blades, oh my God. Charlotte's saying, I know I've said this before, but showing you can never recover from pretty much any error is very freeing. Oh, and Independent ScanNCut is saying, it's gone now, you've got it. Right, phew, I thought you were all seeing another something I'd missed. Okay, so basically, you need some form of transfer tape. You can even use, you know, that stuff I showed you how to use a while ago, that cheap stuff that you cover children's books in. I always forget what it's called. You'll know what I'm talking about, that clear stuff, but that is very sticky and you do get in a bit of a mess with that. I'm cutting vinyl. Cherie's saying yes. Okay, right, so what you need to do now then is peel. I've given it a good burnish down, so hopefully all the vinyl letters will now be stuck to the back. Yeah, it was the battery. I've got a big sign in front of me saying plug phone in, and what did I forget to do? Plug the phone in. Alison saying earth to Ashley. Right, you should be able to see me back now. Tell me that you can. Cherie say no, which is worse, batteries or blades? I'm back, yay! Okay. All right, so as I said, this vinyl is being a little bit temperamental and is not releasing fully from its backing. But once you start it, just take your time and just keep kind of rubbing over it in places. And basically what you want to do, you want to drag your transfer tape low down. You don't want to kind of lift it upwards. You want to keep it very low down, and it will eventually release. Some does take more work than others, and as I said, this vinyl and this transfer tape is very old, so just kind of give it a little bit of a help along the way. And I mean, I don't actually want to release this from here because I'm not going to use it, but we'll persevere. Let me just get that little dot over the eye. So everyone's saying I'm back now. I can see myself again now, so. But you know, it's good that somebody mentions it, because when I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, I'm not always looking at the screen, so I didn't realise, but it was the battery. The batteries go so quick when you're filming. Right, we're getting there. So it literally is a slow process. So the actual cutting of the vinyl, you know, is like the easy bit. So let's just keep going. Just gonna have to help it along a little bit. And what Charlotte's saying, those reminder signs become part of the deco. I ignore them quite often. Yeah, it's back. A bit like me dragging myself together in the morning. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to try and do it this way, because this might be better. This is better, I think. So I'm releasing the backing from the backing tape rather than the other way round. And then we'll just keep going slowly. This is working better. So, you know, different ways to do different jobs, and you'll find your own way. I mean, I'm actually going to put this back on this backing sheet once I've shown you, but whoops. But this is basically what you do. Just take your time. You can see a little bit there. I'm going to just turn it round towards me because I can see the letters better. You're all still with me, aren't you? And then when I finally get this off here, I'll show you what I've already done and what I've made with it. Right, we're done. Yay! So there is the design now on the transfer tape. And basically all as you would do with this now is apply this to the surface. Gravity is a big helper. Apply this to the surface that it's going on, and then you do exactly the same. You burnish it down and you peel your tape away. So if this, let me just take this back down. So if this was my surface that I wanted to apply this vinyl onto, I would literally just place it over where I want it to go, position it, just gently put it into place, and then you do the same thing. You rub it down and you peel the transfer tape away, and then your vinyl has been transferred from its vinyl backing onto the transfer tape, and then from the transfer tape onto your project. Okay, and then I'm going to show you in a minute what I've done with a different saying. So let me just see what people are saying. If you don't want to use the design immediately, would you store it on the backing sheet? Yes, exactly, Barbara. And that's what I'm going to do with this. And if anybody wants this, this is a free design. I'll leave the link under this video later. When I go off air, I'll put the link to where I got this from, but I'll send this out in the post to somebody. Just leave me a comment saying yes, would love the vinyl cut, and I'll draw a name and I'll send it out to you, and then anybody else, you'll have to go to the site and get your own, I'm afraid. So but yeah, you just put your transfer tape on it and leave it. I would do what I've done. I'd weed everything away, Barbara, apply your transfer tape like this, and then store it. So Mandy's saying there's something very satisfying about working with vinyl. I kind of enjoy it, Mandy, but like I say, I don't use it enough to love it. But I know that some people do make livings out of working with vinyl, and they can weed quickly, and you know, they can transfer it all dead quick, and you know, everything's fine. So Cherie's saying here, and if the first vinyl 101 lesson. Right, let me just move this off my desk and I'll show you another design that I have done in exactly the same way, and the design is from the same website, and I've applied it to a project. So let me bring this in. Now I'm going to switch my little lights on and see if you can see it with the lights. So this is a box frame that you get from IKEA or anywhere else. I tend to buy them in bulk when I go to IKEA, because you can do so much with these frames. And basically they come with the frame inside with a square in the middle, which I think is it about 5 inches or something square, something like that inside. And I've cut a letter A, and I've just cut it about 4 times from vinyl and stuck it all together. And then down here in the bottom corner, I've cut the poinsettias from the poinsettia petals, which is a ScanNCut die set, which I sell. And I've got some very fine micro LED lights. And then using the same vinyl technique that I've just shown you, only this is a different colour vinyl, I've cut this saying and I've stuck it on the front of the, I think this is glass. So, you know, you can do all sorts of things with it. Don't know if you can, if I'll turn the lights off, don't know if you'll see it better with the lights on or off. So this one says, just a woman building her craft empire. And then this one would also fit in the same box, and this one says, happiness is crafting. So Barbara's saying, oh, I love that. That's very pretty. Thanks, Ashley. I have to run. Yeah, no problem, Caroline. Sue Lakin's saying, brilliant. Ellen's saying, oh, Ashley, that's beautiful. Very clever. So that's vinyl, really. I mean, as I say, it's not to be, you know, not to be scared of. If you've got a CM machine, you can do this with your CM machine and your standard blade. All as you need to do is apply a test cut first before you cut your vinyl. Just choose a little square or a circle or a triangle and apply it in a corner of your vinyl, and get your blade depth and your cut pressure so that you're not cutting all the way through the backing of the vinyl, and then you'll be able to do it just the same. Leslie's saying, wow, that's lovely. I don't think you are just a woman, you are a craft. Oh, fine. Our craft group did that and cut a slot in the top to make it a bank. Okay, so we could save for craft supplies. Good idea. And there are those glass ones, aren't there? I mean, I've never been able to find, well, I've found an odd one, but there are those glass blocks that have a hole in the top, I think, or in the back where you can feed lights into. I've seen those used in the past, but this is literally just an IKEA box frame. It's, hang on, I'll tell you how big it is. It's 10 inches by 10 inches. I think the inside diameter is about 8.5 from memory, because I think I made this design 8.5 inches. And then, as I say, there's the mount board inside has a square in the middle, you know, where you can put a picture or something like that. I've just put a piece of white card on the back of mine, and then I've cut a blue letter with the ScanNCut from a font that's in the machine, and I've just cut it, I think I did it 4 or 5 times and glued it together to make it look thicker, you know, so it looks more like a chipboard letter. And then I put the lights inside it, fastened it all up, and these particular frames, I'm not sure if you can see, but in the corner they have a little cutout, And because this is only what they call like micro lights, I literally just dumped all the lights inside, left a little bit feeding out through here, and then I hot glued the bit with the battery in on the back, so I can just turn it on and off as and when I want it in my room. But you can make these with any kinds of sayings. They don't have to be, you know, crafting quotes. They can be anything. And as I say, I will leave you a link under the video later when I go off air to show it, to tell you where I got this from. Vicky's saying, great idea to put your logo in your craft room. Hubby cut the slot with a router. Okay. That should have read Wonder Woman. I kind of knew what you were getting at, Leslie. Looks like the wire is fed around the top corner. No, it literally, Vicky, what I was going to do before I put the back in place, I was going to glue it onto the inside all the way round. I can't remember if I think it's about 1 metre or 2 metres. In fact, I think it's 2 metres because I remember thinking I don't need that much, but that was the smallest I could find. And I was literally going to hot glue it in places around the inside of the frame. And then I just thought it's too much hassle. So I literally unravelled it because it was all kind of wound up when it arrived in the post. And I just literally dumped it in. I opened up the back, dumped it all in, put this backing on and clipped it back in place, and then fed the last little bit of the wire through this corner and stuck that down with the hot glue gun. So yeah, it literally just is all kind of all over. If I just switch it back on again, see if you can, I'm not sure how well you're going to see it with me having my big lights on as well, but it's just lots of, it's like I say, it's a very fine micro wire with very, very tiny LED bulbs in it. So that is tonight's project. So has anybody got any last minute questions? Any suggestions? As I say, I'll probably do a pre-record for the premium functions, although I may do it as a live. I'm not sure yet. Anna is saying, stunning, could you use foam tabs for the letter A? Yeah, mine are stuck on with 3D foam. I've literally cut the letter A 4 times and stuck each layer flat with glue, but you could make it higher, definitely. But I put 3D foam just on the bottom layer so it sits off. It sits off the white piece that's in the background, if that makes sense. Ellen, I got them off eBay. What I did, I didn't Google. I went on eBay and in the search box, I put micro LED battery operated lights. And then I just chose, you know, a seller. You can get them in colours as well, I think, but I just chose the white ones. So Maria's saying, thank you again, Ashley. Have to try something with vinyl. Linda Lee is saying, excellent, thank you. Mandy G is saying, fab as usual, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so any last minute questions or suggestions? So Vicky's saying, I'm going to watch the wreath video this afternoon. Thumbs up, everybody. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the wreath was good fun. As I say, that's 2 projects that are in Canvas Workspace that are free. And I just combined both projects and made what I made yesterday. Barbara saying, might make some for 3 of my sons saying working from, yeah, you could put anything on them, you know, or if they've got a favourite sport, you could cut, you know, a football or golf or something like that. Doesn't have to be quotes. Cherie saying, I love it. Thank you so much for tonight's vinyl walkthrough. I'm looking forward to the activation card one too. Okay, thanks Cherie. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing something with it. Ellen saying, thank you, wonderful project. Thank you. Lisa Davis is saying, Tony saying, thank you. Okay, I'm going to have a quick drink of my juice. If anybody's got any last minute questions or anything they want to ask. Creative Concepts is saying, thanks Ashley, good fun trying to watch, cook, eat and clear whilst it's going on. You're definitely multitasking then, aren't you? I've not used vinyl, but you've intrigued me. Can you use the 361 for stencil on paper? Possibly, yeah. Yeah. I've used 631 or indoor vinyl, sometimes it's called. I have used that for stenciling on, you know, like glass, if you want to use glass etching. You'd have to try, I'd do a test if you're doing it on paper, just to see in case it rips the paper. Barbara's saying, it will have to go on my early Christmas present list. Leslie's saying, thank you once again, Ashley, for a great tutorial. Got to go for dinner. Enjoy, Leslie. Yeah, thanks, Alison. Beautiful project. Just got my SDX 2200D, so need lots of help. Well, Jenny, there's loads of stuff on my Apple Lover 53 YouTube channel. And if you don't know where that is, you can go there. It should pop up in a minute on your screen. Janet's saying, thank you, Ashley. I will now have more confidence using mine. Oh, brilliant. Thank you for this, Ashley. And I'm missing, your comments are popping up too quick now. Thank you for this, Ashley. I will now have more confidence. Thank you, Ashley. And the ideas just keep flowing from you. I'm trying, Barbara, but you know, help me, give me some more ideas. Thank you, Ashley. See you next week. Yeah, Vicky saying, Charlotte, you can use this to make silk screens too. We seem to be getting some spammers on here tonight. Cherie's saying there's a stenciling kit for Charlotte. There is a stenciling kit for the ScanNCut to make your own stencils, but you make yours with acetate. Yeah. And JD Cougar's giving everybody a thumbs up. Jenny's saying, now in full lockdown, so have time to learn. Yeah, we're going into full lockdown on Thursday, Jenny. Thank you. I guess I won't use it as an excuse to get the vinyl blade, but I will take a look for the stenciling kit. Yeah, try it. As I say, you know, there is the vinyl blade, but you can use your regular blade. Right, if there are no last minute questions, I'm going to go. For some reason, we've got a few spammers on here tonight, so I am trying to delete them. If anybody sees any comments, if you click on the name, you should be able to delete them, but I think I've got rid of a few of them now. Okay, can't see any last minute questions popping up, so I'll go and put the links under the video to where you can get these cutting files. And I've just seen something pop up now. Charlotte's saying, any particular acetate, or just make sure it's not more than 3 mm thick. Okay. Oh, was that in reply to somebody else's question? Okay. Yeah, correct, Charlotte. Cherie's saying correct, Charlotte. Okay, so you're answering each other's questions. That's good. Great. Right, I'm going to go then. Oh, the heavy one that doesn't bend, Cherie is saying, but it's got to be less than 3 milli thick. Okay, there you go. So that's for whoever was asking. Okay, right, I'm going to go then because I can't see any last minute questions or anything. And I will see you all soon. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. And I'll speak to you all hopefully next week, if not before.